What's up, everybody? Welcome to HappyGo by Hannah. I'm Hannah, and this is where I strive to help you cultivate a happy, creative life. Welcome to, this is episode 4? Yeah, this is episode 4 of HappyGo Scribbles, mini interviews to get a quick sketch of an artist. And today I have with us the lovely JoAnn Marie. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, sure. I'm JoAnn Marie. I live in Canada. I have 4 kids, and I'm an artist. How much do you want me to say?
No, just like where you're from and everything. That's really cool. So this is a mini interview, but not a rushed one. I have 3 questions for you today. Question number 1. What is it that you love to create? We're talking medium, subject, size, etc. What is it that you like to make?
Okay. Well, in general, I just love to create. I think a lot of artists are like that. But I don't typically stay on one thing. So I do acrylics and watercolors, and I've done oils. So mostly painting. I used to do more drawing, but I'm kind of in a painting mode, and particularly watercolor. Right now I'm on a watercolor phase, but it does go through phase. Like I just feel like I get tired of things and I like to change it up. But I also really like people. I recently realized that I've been drawn to people kind of stemming back to my art school days. I was really scared to go to art school because I didn't want to draw people. I was scared of drawing, and I was scared of drawing people. I focused at the time more on landscapes and nature, that kind of thing. And I felt like I was a horrible drawer. And then when I went to art school, I had a kind of a bad experience in the painting program. And so I focused more on drawing. In fact, I took so many drawing courses, figure drawing courses. And, those of us who went to art school know that when you're in one figure drawing class, you're drawing over and over and over and over. From 10-second drawings to one drawing was 3-hour drawing, and the model posed for us for 3 hours. But I really just gained a love of the figure and drawing the figure. And when I was done school, I noticed that my painting had improved a lot. Anyway, so I do love people. They bring me the most joy. I just feel like there's so much soul and spirit in a person, and I can feel it when I'm painting, and I just feel this love for the person just pour into the painting, especially when it's my kids. I do a lot of painting of my kids. So that's kind of sums it up, I guess.
That's awesome. I'm sorry, my video keeps cutting out. I'm gonna ignore that for now, and hopefully it will hang on long enough just to get through the video. That's awesome, JoAnn Marie. Question number 2, going right off of that, is what is most important to you about creating? Is it meaning in your work? Is it the process? Is it something else?
I feel this just intense need to create. It's just so a part of me, and I have kind of these like OCD tendencies where I have to like fidget with my hands all the time, or I'm like, some bad habits, like finger biting and stuff like that. And I feel like I need to be doing something with my hands. I feel like I keep shaking the camera here, but yeah, so I feel this like I'm compelled to create in a way and need it. in my life. And there's nothing that makes me happier than creating. I just feel so much satisfaction when I'm creating. Like at the end of the day, I just go to bed and I'm like, oh, that was such a good day. I got to make something. And for me, I kind of am a bit of a perfectionist, and I really like my art to be beautiful, and I really like it to be good. And so I am really critical of it a lot of the times, and I've had to really work hard at kind of intentionally creating for the act of creating. I know a lot of artists are like really like to create for the process, and I've really wanted to be that person because I noticed that I was getting quite stressed out with art. Even though it does bring me a lot of joy, it's also a lot of problem solving, and when it doesn't go your way, you get frustrated, and you have one idea in your mind, but then it goes somewhere totally different, and you can't control watercolors all the time. And so I really had to let go of a lot of things and just really focus on, I'm here to create because I love to create. And so that's kind of what I've been focusing on more intentionally since January, is about the process, but it's not natural to me at all.
No, oh my gosh, that's great. That I think I'm the same way in a lot of respects in that art making is hard. It's easy to say, "Oh yeah, I love making art. I love being an artist," but that doesn't necessarily mean it's always easy. That's really cool. The final question, question number 3, which is kind of the theme of my channel here, is what do you do, every day, whether in your art making or otherwise, to live a happy creative life?
Okay, I find this question really interesting. I really like it. It's something that has always been important to me, actually. So I had an art business when I was young and first married. And then I had a baby, and it totally stopped, completely stopped. And I find it really interesting because when I was having kids, raising my kids, I had no desire to do art, none at all. Like it wasn't on my agenda at all. And my husband, I remember one time he made me have like a date night where he's like, I'm just gonna paint. And he got out paints and he started painting. So I was like, okay, I guess I'm painting. And then I did a painting that night. But like he really had to force it out of me. But I really found that my creativity came out in other ways. So I was doing a lot of sewing. I would sew for my kids. I designed a little baby outfit for my first son that had like a little vest, and I made a hat, and like, I don't know. I love designing clothes and sewing clothes, and I made all their Halloween costumes. I would make cards. I would, I bought some sketchbooks with kind of sturdy pages to be their baby books, and I would journal in them, and I would put pictures in them, and then I would paint designs all around them. And also in cooking, even I love experimenting with cooking, and particularly desserts. Like, what if I put these two desserts together? That would be even better, right? Or like different ways of bread, like making bread into different like cheese buns or pretzel, different, like, I don't know, like different creations with my baking. And and even in my decorating, like I like to just paint on pieces of paper and then stick designs up around my house, or make a banner or something like that. I just like cannot help but like use my art in artistic ways, creative ways all the time. And even, so as my kids got older and were able to paint themselves, and I was able to paint a little bit, I did start to get a desire to paint again when my youngest was about 2 or 3. And we would just put a junky tablecloth on the table and call it our art day. And we'd play fun music and everyone would bring their projects. I always tried to not like, oh, you guys are all going to be artists just like me, you know, like influence them in a way to be like me. I always wanted them to find their own creativity in their own way. So sometimes it would be things like Lego creations, or I remember my oldest liked to build things out of wood, so he'd bring his project to the table. And sometimes people would paint, but we would just all be creating for the whole day, and it was so fun. I miss that. Now my oldest is moved out and married and they're not really interested in doing art days with me anymore, and it's kind of sad because they're teenagers and they're like, you know, going and having their own plans with friends and things. So anyway, but basically in my life, if there is something that I see that I love, whether it's at a restaurant and I'm eating a delicious meal, or if I see an article of clothing I love, or a decoration of some kind, I always automatically think, how can I make that? Before I think about buying anything, I'm always like, I want to try and make that. And I usually do. So I guess that's how I don't know. I just feel like creativity is just such a huge, huge part of my life.
That's really wonderful. Oh my gosh. I'm so lucky to be able to interview cool people like you. No, that's really excellent. There's not much I can say in response to that other than that's a really good example of what this is all about. My channel and everything. Art doesn't always have to be just painting or just, you know, just that kind of creating, but I think yeah, being creative and happy should be woven into our lives. Thank you so much for imparting your wisdom to us, JoAnn.
I don't know about wisdom, but
well, I learned from you. So thank you so much for being here, and thank you to our audience so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that jazz. I'm going to link JoAnn Marie's art in the description below, so be sure to go check that out. And there are more interviews in the future. So we'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody.